on our wonderful Roulettes aerobatic team.
Endo, thanks very much for having me. Overhead now, the Roulettes in formation.
Now Ben, this is a pocket rocket. This is way above and beyond the PC-9, which it's replacing, and an extremely capable aircraft for training and other purposes.
Absolutely, Endo. Stepping into a PC-21 after the PC-9 on pilot's course is just a whole new experience. The technology inside, the systems that it's got, it just makes flying an absolute dream.
The engine, even though it's the same type PT6, it's a lot greater shaft horsepower than the PC-9.
It sure has. It's got a lot of get up and go. It's got a maximum speed of 370 knots, or roughly 685 kilometres an hour.
Now this machine is not just a training aircraft, it's part of a very complex training system that you can actually dial up.
That's right, so the instructor's sitting in the back seat, with training pilots in the front. They can turn off a whole number of systems, and we can go back to the absolute basics of pilot flying. The idea behind that is that pilots learn the raw skills required, that if they do have a systems failure, they can always step back into those skills that they've learned. But the idea is to basically have the pilot ready to step into a Hawk and lead them into the fighter aircraft.
The visibility out of these is absolutely incredible, and the system that goes with it can train you in every aspect of flying, as you say, right up to stepping into that Hawk.
Yeah, that's right. The mission computer, the HUD, the FMS, it's got everything on board that's going to lead you into that Hawk and well prepared, rather than the PC-9, which was a fairly different aircraft from stepping into the Hawk, so it was once again another step up.
And a HUD, we basically only heard about that with military aircraft before, but now you've got them in the cars. So when you see those figures coming up about your speed and your direction and navigation on your windscreen, that's exactly the same thing that the guys see in the cockpit of these, but a little bit more complex.
Yeah, that's right, and the idea is that our heads are outside the cockpit, so we're not looking inside, because there's threats outside, and the more that we're looking out there, the safer it's going to be. Now, ladies and gentlemen, cameras ready for the slide and brake. So the Roulettes fly the Pilatus PC-21, which is the Swiss-designed turboprop aircraft. As we spoke about before, it's powered by a PT6 engine with up to 1600 shaft horsepower. For safety, the aircraft is fitted with ejection seats and survival equipment. Now, as the synchro pair have broken off here, Roulette 5 and 6, they'll now have over 1,000 kilometres of closure as they turn into a right-hand and left-hand steep turn.
And as you said yesterday, they are literally only a couple of metres apart when they do that crossover.
Yeah, that's right, 3 to 4 metres, but 1,000 kilometres an hour, that is extremely close.
Definitely eyes out material.
Absolutely. So performing the Roulette wheel today is Flight Lieutenant Dan Barclay, Roulette 5, and Flight Lieutenant Nathan Stankovicius is Roulette 6. Ladies and gentlemen, from overhead now, Squadron Leader Mark Peritz will lead the team through the tee-to-box loop. Watch closely throughout the loop as the formation changes shape.
Now, what sort of maximum G would they be experiencing during this entire flight?
So this flight, predominantly about 4G, but at certain points of the show it'll be up to 5.5, 6 Gs if required.
So instantaneous G is much more better than consistent.
That's right, holding 4G for a sustained period of time starts to take a fair toll on the body, and it's quite fatiguing actually. So these pilots have got previous backgrounds on various aircraft of operational platforms, including the C-130 Hercules, the C-17 Globemaster, the FA-18 Hornet, the P-3 Orion, and the B-350 King Air. I myself, I'm from the mighty KC-30 tanker.
pride of the fleet. KC-30 really distinguished itself in the Middle East.
It sure did. It made a very, very good name for itself with all the coalition assets that we would refuel over there, just because of its reliability and the amount of fuel that we could carry.
The tanker of choice.
Absolutely. Now overhead now is roulette 5 and 6 once again in the mirror position. The move made famous in Top Gun. Leading the roulettes today is Squadron Leader Mark Caritz, who grew up in Vermont South in Victoria. From the right now, he'll lead the team into the snake loop as they pull over 4G and gain over 2,500 feet in height.
Now the lead is calling all of these manoeuvres and they just call in as they are braking individually.
That's right, so just continuous radio talk. Obviously this is a very well rehearsed show, so they do know what's going to come next, but it's all on Squadron Leader Mark Caritz to make those calls on certain timings.
This is certainly not a set and forget. This is something that you do all the time, practice all the time.
That's right, practice, 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 practice makes perfect. Overhead now, roulettes 5 and 6 for the roulette heart.
Now, I do believe that there's a certain 4-ship aerobatic team that might have copied this a little bit.
So not a bad effort, obviously the cloud today, quite hard to see, and very difficult to really get the timing there perfect. Once again from the right, look closely, Squadron Leader Mark Caritz has just rolled inverted, while Roulette 4 Flight Lieutenant Ben Hepworth will perform a corkscrew manoeuvre around the remaining members of the team. Today's solo displays by Roulette 5, Dan Barclay. Dan grew up on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, and in 2008 he graduated pilot's course and became the youngest flying instructor in the RAAF at just 22 years of age. Dan will demonstrate the performance characteristics of the PC-21 through a maximum performance turn and double aileron roll. To your left now, the card 5 loop.
Now this is not just the day job, you guys are all flying instructors as well down there at East Sale.
Yeah, that's correct. So roulettes 1 through 6 are all qualified flying instructors. So their weekend job is this fun. We get to travel around the country performing for various crowds and shows. Monday to Friday is flying instructors. So they are teaching the pilots of the Air Force how to become instructors.
And fantastic ambassadors for the Defence Force.
Yeah, absolutely. That's our job, to get out, meet and greet, and hopefully we can get a few young kids to sign up and become pilots in the future.
Well, I for one will be cracking my neck to do it.
And very fast.
Might not hit the age barrier, but...
So the remaining members of the team, Roulette 2 today, we've got Flight Lieutenant Ben Ness, and Roulette 3, Flight Lieutenant Trent Sherman. Once again from the right, the team is now positioned for roulette rollbacks.
Making something very difficult look very easy.
Yeah, that's right, but as we spoke about before, lots of practice goes into these shows, and these guys do a lot of training. The roulette training is about 6 weeks of continuous flying, 2 flights a day, in order to get them ready for the season.
So how many shows would you do on average?
Well, unfortunately, with everything, COVID's really affected us the last 2 years, but it's ramped up this year, so we've about 10 shows, so we pretty much work most weekends from the start of March.
Oh, that is fantastic.
But once again, no complaints. We get to travel the country, fly this beautiful aircraft.
And you certainly were a big hit here yesterday. So are you guys coming back to sign anything this afternoon? Or?
No, unfortunately not this afternoon.
Oh, that's right, you've got to get back to Sale.
Yeah, we've got to make the long trip back down to Sale. These aircraft are used back Monday morning, back in pilot training, so the quicker we can get them back, the more pilot trainees we get trained up and ready to go for the future.
Well, you certainly hit here yesterday. I believe you ran out of merchandise with all of the people coming up and getting autographs and what have you.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. We literally walked away with nothing. No posters, stickers, bags, anything. Which is great, and you know, we encourage people at future shows, come up, say good day. We love to have a chat, get a photo.
Certainly good ambassadors for the Defence Forces and Defence Force careers.
So the team will now move into the Delta formation for the final manoeuvre of today's show. Once again, cameras ready as the team positions for a loop before an explosive finish, the bomb burst. If you've enjoyed our show, please follow us on Facebook and Instagram. If you'd like to share photos, please tag us at Air Force Roulettes or hashtag Air Force Roulettes. If you'd like more information about the roulettes, please visit airforce.gov.au/roulettes. For more information about becoming a pilot or joining the ADF, visit defencejobs.gov.au or call 13 1901.
And it's great to see you guys here at the Central Coast Airshow, and fantastic that you've been able to come here 2 days in a row to really demonstrate what the training of the RAAF does.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic to be here and to demonstrate that, because this is what all pilots are taught, close formation and aerobatics.
Get your cameras ready, ladies and gentlemen.
So as the team point towards the ground at over 250 knots, be prepared for the bomb burst.
What an absolutely fantastic demonstration, ladies and gentlemen. Really put your hands together for the RAAF Roulettes and for Flight Lieutenant Ben Price, Roulette 7, for that fantastic commentary. Great to see you here.
Thank you very much for having me. On behalf of the Roulettes, thanks for coming out.
Well, mums and dads, boys and